Welcome, everybody, to the Just Give Me the Mic show. I am your girl, Debra Coco, and we have an exciting show for you today. We actually have a well-known author who's in the building to talk about her series and how she got started writing books and how it transitioned over to filmmaking. So we're excited to have her with us today. And also we have some members of the cast who have also came through to talk about their experience being a part of the latest project, Pocket Full of Game. So join me in welcoming Ms. Debra Cardona to the show.
How you doing, Deb?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good, good.
You know, I was originally introduced to you sometime last year. Someone came up to me. It's like, you have to interview Ms. Cardona. She has this great movie out called Chained, and you must sit with her and hear her story because she has a great story. So I'm happy we was able to make that happen today. And so let's get started with you and how your career started as writing books. Because I read something about, you know, with some lessons you've learned growing up, and you decided to put your experiences into a book. So let me hear from you. How did that start?
Well, I was born and raised in East Harlem.
Mm-hmm.
I lived the street life
Okay.
while growing up, and I ended up doing time.
Okay.
I was incarcerated for about 10 years.
Okay.
And during my incarceration, I was reading the urban novels, and I could relate to the stories because I lived that life, right? And I came across a book that was really badly written, and I was like, I write better than my letters home.
Was better than
are
that.
better than this book.
Right.
And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start writing a book, and I wrote Chain in 30 days.
Oh wow! So Chain is based on your story, or wow? Okay.
Chain is based on my story and of my friend Trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And when I wrote the book, she was also incarcerated.
Okay.
You know, so it became a project it was about me and her, you know.
Okay.
And what we went through as, you know, growing up together, our friendship, our loyalty to each other.
Right.
Something that people don't have today.
Right,
you know?
definitely.
Back in that era, we were just so loyal to each other. You know, that if anything happened to you, the other one was right there for you.
You're so right. That's
So,
true. Times
you know-
have changed a little bit when it comes to that, right?
Oh yeah, a
right,
whole lot.
Right.
You know, you find it, but it's rare. You know, and then when you find it, you gotta keep it.
Right. You gotta hold it tight. Right. You definitely
You know,
do.
and that people don't do that today. People
Yeah.
don't know how to come back and say, hey, you know what? I'm sorry.
Right,
You know,
right.
hey, my bad. You know, I didn't mean to do that or say that. You know,
No, I agree with
People's
you.
egos keep them from building true relationships.
That is true.
So Chain is based on my relationship with Bruni Torres.
Okay.
And growing up, we called her Trouble because she was trouble, you know.
So you knew her prior to being incarcerated?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she went in for something, and then I went in for something else.
Okay.
And then we just found ourselves in the same prison, and we just stood together the whole time.
So Chain is the first book that you wrote?
Chain is the very first book that I wrote, yes.
Okay, and then you have like 6 others. So what's the order of the following books that you did?
Okay, so I wrote 13 novels.
Oh, it's 13,
and
okay.
I published 5. And I have 2 as ebooks, but I don't really have them up yet.
Okay.
You know, because when I came home in 2007, I put out Chain and I put out Twofold. Those books did very well on the street.
Nice.
When I came home, we had the book vendors, and we were able to run around and sell our books wholesale to the book vendors.
Right.
Plus, you know, we would set up our own book signings, put up a table, 125th, 116. I had a book stand. I owned stores there too.
Oh, nice. Okay.
You know, so we were able to. It was easier to connect with the reader because we were there. We were present.
Face to face.
Right.
Yes.
When everything turned digital, it became much more difficult, and that's when I decided that I wasn't going to publish any more books. I'm not going to publish
Just put them online.
No, I wasn't going to do that either.
Okay.
The 5 that I had already printed out, I put those online. And I became a slave to my computer, and I don't like that. I didn't have a life.
Right,
Because I felt like I was always marketing.
Right.
You know, I'm very good with marketing, you know. And I did well for a little while, but then, of course, it dies down, you know.
But how was the initial transition of actually putting the stories on paper, getting it published, do you publish your own? Because I know you have Deja Vu
Okay.
publication. So how did
Yeah.
that part work?
So while I was incarcerated, I wrote Chain.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote it, I rewrote it, I rewrote it. You know, Terry Woods was one of the ones that I wanted to work with.
Okay.
You know, I felt that she was the one, you know, that
To
I
help
should
you.
be up under. So I
Right.
submitted Chain to her. And she sent me a letter back and she said, I love your book.
Okay.
I want your book.
Okay.
But I want to buy the copyrights.
Oh.
And when she told me that, I knew I had something in my hand.
Right.
And I said, you know, the letter stated, I want to buy your copyrights for $10,000. Call me.
First time
ASAP,
writing.
right.
You know?
So I was like, I already knew if she wants to buy my book,
I got something here.
something
Right.
special. So what I did was I called her. I went to the chaplain and I called her, you know, and all that. And she was like, yo, like, Deb, I want to buy your book.
Wow.
And I said, Terry, I don't need money. You know, that wasn't, the purpose of me writing the book wasn't to get money. I wanted
get your story
to get my
out?
story out there,
Right.
right? And she was like, what do you mean you don't need money? You're incarcerated. I said, baby, I don't need no money.
I'm good.
I need my story
Right,
to get
right,
out there.
Right.
So, I declined that offer, you know.
Wow.
But she respected that.
Yeah.
You know, and she
You stood
respects
your ground
me.
on it. You
and
knew what you wanted.
So this day, like, I can communicate where I could call her, she calls me.
Nice.
You know, we know each other very well, and out of that came out that relationship.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So she respects me very much. I started Deja Vu Publications
So that's
from
your
behind
very
the
own,
walls.
right.
Yeah, I self-taught myself the publishing business.
Wow.
I had, instead of my family sending me, you know, things that I didn't need. Can you please go to Barnes and Nobles, buy me self-publishing books?
Nice.
You know, all this stuff, and I would get my packages and I would just read all these books and highlight.
Wow.
And I made my LLC. Then I turned
Right.
it into a corporation. 'Cause
Right.
my company's a corporation
Nice.
with different entities under it. So
Okay.
I have Deja Vu Publications, Deja Vu Vibes. Now I have Deja Vu Films. I have Deja Vu Models Inc.
So what's the Deja Vu vibes? What is that?
Deja Vu Vibes started when I started my sex toy line.
Oh. Okay.
I
I don't know why that stood out. I was like, what is that?
All right, so I opened up some bookstores in Spanish Harlem.
Okay.
And when everything turned digital again, you know, when you own a storefront, it's very difficult to get people to come in,
Right,
you know?
right.
So I'm like, what can I put in my store
That'll attract.
that will attract,
Right.
you know, the people in my neighborhood? So I started selling sex toys. I
Oh.
got online. I went through the wholesale companies, and then I had a lounge in the back, and that's how I met my producer now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she had a birthday party there, and but you know, it's like I said, you know, like you try to reinvent.
You have to.
The storefront in order for it to survive, right?
Right.
Because you got this rent to pay.
That's right.
And then after a while, I just was like, you know, I'm stuck again. I was stuck in front of the computer trying to sell everything through ebooks. Now I'm stuck in the store 12 hours, 13 hours. Now I'm getting up, opening up at 11. Now I'm renting out the space 11, 12, 1 o'clock in
Right.
the morning. And I just couldn't do it no more.
Okay, so you let that part go.
Yeah, because my baby woke up one day and he said, Mommy, you don't spend no time with me. And that was it for me.
Right,
You know,
right,
I went
right.
that same day and I'm going out of business.
Right.
And I was
you
all
had to
right with it.
reevaluate. Yeah.
I was all
Yeah, I
right
can
with it
understand
because,
that.
you know, sometimes your time is just your time. You know when it feels
You know
right.
when that's what I was getting ready to say. You definitely know when it's time to do something, especially your family.
Oh,
you know,
yeah, of
you know
course.
that
Family
that
first.
definitely warrants the break. So how do you feel about that transition again, right? From writing to film.
Okay,
That's big also, you know?
All right, so when I first came home again and I was selling the books, I always wanted to do the film, right? But I didn't know anyone that was doing films at the time. Everybody
okay.
was just hustling their books.
Right.
Right? And I've always wanted to do it, right? And then now this web series are coming out.
Popping
This
up all
is
over
coming
the
out.
place,
I'm like, wait
right.
a minute, hold it. And then one day I was you know, like I would be on the bus. I would not really too much on the train, but whenever I would see people were always stuck on their phone. And I'm like, my kids are like this, like stuck.
At dinner, everybody's with the phone.
Right.
Everywhere you go, they got the phone.
I
in
will
their
find
hand.
myself stuck on the phone. And I'm like, wait a minute. everything is visual now.
Everything, yeah.
You know, so that's I woke up one day and I called Capri and I said, it's time to film my movie. She was like, okay.
But you know, I think that keeping an ear to what's going on, the changes, like
Yeah.
you change with the times,
No, you
right?
have to.
Right.
When you come from my lifestyle, you gotta be
Know how to adapt to your environment and make those
right.
changes.
Not only that, you have to be aware of what's around
Exactly.
you. So I still have that in me.
Right.
From
like your younger years.
Right. I'm
right?
still
Keep
like,
it up.
okay,
Keep it up with everything.
What are they looking at?
Right. What's going on?
Right. I still have that in me that would never go away.
Right.
So I watch people all the time, and I'm like, look at these. 20 minutes he been on his phone. You go out to dinner, people's not even eating.
No.
Or they're eating like this.
They're eating and they're not
the whole
talking.
family's
Right.
there and everybody's on their phone.
Right.
And I was like, nah, it's time to make my film.
So why did you choose Chain to be your first one? Is
because that was my very first book.
Okay.
And I'm trying to go in order.
Okay.
So Chain is my very first book, and then I have the sequel, Twofold.
Okay.
What I want to do with that project, or what I wanted to do with the project, was to sell the whole project. So let's say someone's interested in Chain, and like a big production company, and they're like, you know what, we can really make something out of this. Now I have Twofold to sell along with it, because it's more to Chain. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I'm only giving you the visual part of the story.
But here's the
rest of the story, and guess what? You can do your full feature film with Michelle Rodriguez, who I want to play Jazz. Like, these are the visions in my mind. You know what I'm saying, of what I want for this project. I had to sacrifice Chain in a way because I was up for an award, and they couldn't find me. They knew they knew of me.
Right.
They knew the submission. But they couldn't find it. They were like, where is this girl's stuff or this woman's stuff?
Oh, yeah, because because you had it on Vimeo.
I had it on Vimeo,
right? That's what it was.
And then I was like, but Vimeo's not working. See, I'm learning as I go. I'm catching on.
Not everybody's, not everybody knows about Vimeo. So you're trying to find that platform to give you the most exposure. But you probably was introduced to Vimeo first, right?
I did some research. I listen, you could be talking to me right now, and I'll be like this. What you said? Oh, yeah, word?
Right.
You know him? And I'm researching constantly.
Okay.
That's what I do. So when I wanted an outlet where I wasn't going to get cheated. Because I know that this business is very dirty.
Because, see, I don't know too much about Vimeo, so.
Yeah. This business is very dirty. So you have to be very careful with your distributor. Whoever your distributors could be, making millions of dollars on your clicks, and you get a $15 check.
So for Vimeo, it's directly to the source.
Right, directly to me. I am self-uploading.
Got it.
Everything. The way I self-published, that's how I want to do it.
Okay, I understand. So it's more controllable in that environment.
Yeah, no, I'm going to control my project.
No, I understand that.
Every day, all day. Because I have cast members that depend on me.
That's right.
And I am not going to make myself look like, I'm stealing from my cast members.
This way, your data, everything supports
is there.
itself.
So anyone that says, oh, I heard, Deb made money. I got the paperwork. This is what we made. $2.15.
Right,
you know what I mean? It's right here. Right. That's how I like to do things.
Good. So let's jump in the Pocket Full of Game. The latest baby. Your latest baby.
Okay.
That's out right now that you just finished filming. And we have some cast members here today that we're going to talk about this project. Give us some insight on that. Where you at right now with that project?
We just finished filming Pocket Full of Game 2 weeks ago. And we start edits. Well, we went last week and we took some clippings and we made our trailer.
Okay.
And now this Saturday we are going into full editing.
Okay. All right. And what is it? Tell us a little bit about the story.
So the story is about 3 men. And they're real life people. I write about real people. So Chain, I gave you all the women.
Okay.
Right? And then this film, I'm giving you all the men in my life.
Okay.
That, that were in the life or are in the life. And I just took it to another level, though, because I kind of you know, I threw a female in there.
Uh-huh.
You know, I threw myself in there.
Okay.
You know, and I'm like, I'm gonna be a part of this. You know, like because
Right.
that's
But
always
you was a part of
right
it.
because that's always who I was.
Right.
I was never satisfied with what I had. I was like, I want more. I want more.
Okay.
And I guess that's why you know I ended up being in jail because. You know, I was greedy. You know,
Okay.
what I had wasn't enough. He's over there doing that. Wait a minute, yo,
Right, how can
can
down
I
with
get
that?
down?
Right,
Yeah, like
yeah.
I want to get down with that. So
Right.
that's what it is. And Pocket Full of Game is dope.
It's dope?
It's dope. I smile and everything because for Chain, I wasn't able to be there filming because, like I was telling you earlier, my parents got sick and they passed away during the filming of Chain.
Wow.
My dad and then my mom.
Wow.
But Pocket Full of Game, I was there. I was present.
Very hands-on
I was
for
teaching.
everything,
I was
right.
coaching. I was telling my cast members, this is what I need from you. And let me tell you something. It didn't take much to get them there because I kind of feel like they all lived that life or were around that life.
You said it was relatable.
Right. It
so-
was relatable.
Right.
So they tuned in either to an uncle who lived that life, you know, or to a brother. The one that I was surprised at and really, really surprised at was Catherine.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I feel like I
The
took...
lead actress.
Right. I feel like I took, you know, the pretty video girl, you know, and model.
Transformed
and
that
she
whole-
just flipped it like I told her, I want you to act aggressive. Watch me. Watch how I talk. And one day she just came to the rehearsal and she just
brought it. She brought it.
She brought it. And I was like,
wow.
okay, well, we ain't got to teach her no more.
Right,
Moving on to the next person, you know.
That's good.
So everybody else, I knew they were going to come full force with it.
So
know?
when do you expect for the project to be released in
Well,
theaters?
we know that it's going to be 2020.
Okay.
I'm going to have a big premiere
Okay.
at the National Black Theater. So once we're very, very close to editing, that's when I'll set up the date and everything, send out all the blasts and media, get
So
the
look out
tickets
for that,
sold and all
right.
that stuff. Yeah.
All right. So if anyone wants to follow you, and they can go online now and get your publications at...
Oh
you
yeah,
have
well
out?
my
Where can they go? Give us your
all of my
contact.
books are on Amazon and Barnes and Nobles. But you can get them straight from me, autographed, get pictures, all that stuff. My
Okay.
Instagram is Deja Vu Films Inc. And my Facebook is Debra Cardona. And then you can find me Chain the Movie. I have like 7 pages on Facebook.
Okay. So she is not hard to find.
Right,
everybody.
exactly.
So I want to thank you for that.
Okay.
Sharing your story, and we'll be back with more. We have the cast coming up, so don't go nowhere. We'll be right back.